Hi YouTube. Here's a quick video to show you guys this smart TV kit that I purchased over Black Fridays here in 2019, and I thought it was a great deal. So I wanted to make a quick video to show you guys what this product is all about and what it contains. So, like I said, this is a Black Friday deal that I purchased yesterday. The kit actually consists of the Google Home Mini as well as the Chromecast product, and this one is actually a Walmart exclusive. So let me show you guys the unit itself. So this is the listing on the Walmart app, and as you can see, it contains the Google Home Mini and the Chromecast, and it is a Walmart exclusive. It is selling right now for $35. I believe the deal has been extended for over the weekend, so it's still up for grabs. Usually, each unit sells for $35 each, and this one, the whole kit is being offered for $35, and then $74 is the usual kit price on their listing. So, which is a significant markdown, and comes in handy. For those of you who are not necessarily in the market for a smart TV kit, I also wanted to show you guys this deal, which is from ComEd. We live in the Midwest, which is where the ComEd is servicing. I don't know what their scope of service is or in what other parts of the country they operate in, but here in our area, they are offering this configuration for $25, and so that's a sale price, $55 being the regular price. This unit does contain the bulb and the smart home, so that's $25, which is great. But the one that I'm showing you today is $35. The other thing I wanted to also show you is that as part of the Black Friday deal, Target, which is the other store I went to yesterday, was offering $19 for the Google Home Mini itself, and then for the Chromecast, it was offering it for $25. So buying it separate, obviously costs you more. So, which is I think is a great time to actually go ahead and buy this if you're interested. I think that's the main thing I want to show you as far as pricing is concerned. Let's take a quick look at what this actually contains, the box. Obviously, it has the Google Home Mini unit itself in here. This is the first generation Google Home Mini, so there are later versions that are available now out there. This is the first generation, but with software updates and whatnot, I think these things have only improved. So you're not necessarily getting an inferior product necessarily. As far as its ability to integrate with the other platforms is concerned, I think that's fairly big and comprehensive. Obviously it supports Google Chromecast, which is what this kit is about, but it also supports many other services. The one that is really interesting to me and has worked great based on my past experience is Nest. Nest, as you know, is part of the Google family. It is a Google brand now. So it has great integration with that, and we actually do have thermostats and other products from Nest, such as their cameras and whatnot. It really integrates really well with those products. And then it also integrates with the Philips Hue, which is a very popular lighting solution, smart lighting solution available out there. And it works great with that as well. What could you do with this? The one thing that I'd like to point out that for those of you who might be comparing it with the larger Google Home, that's a bigger speaker, that's a bigger device, so obviously the sound quality on that tends to be much better. But with this guy, the sound is, I think, not its strength. So, but it's not bad. I wouldn't say that you couldn't really listen to music on this. You could, but it won't be as good as or as rich as you will get it on the bigger speakers. The primary purpose of this device, guys, is not really to listen to music all the time. This cannot or should not be your primary device for listening to music. What it's really meant for is a audio bridge to your other devices in your home. So it obviously can work with other devices around your home, especially in a smart home configuration, and it's really meant as an interface for that. So bear that in mind as you buy this, so you won't feel disappointed. As far as the unit itself is concerned, it's really basic and simple design. I think it's a great design because it's very uncomplicated, uncluttered. It has a power, outlet here where your micro USB goes in, and then it has a microphone on off button. So you could turn this off and the microphone just turns off, and now it's not listening at all. Remember, Google Home is a always listening mode because it allows you to it allows this unit to pick up those audio clues when you say okay Google. It understands that, and that can only happen if it's already turned on. And then the base on this is rubberized, which is basically to help it from getting some friction and doesn't necessarily slip off the table easily. And the top is some kind of a fabric. And I think, my earlier concern with this was that it's going to collect a lot of dust, but actually it doesn't. I think it has proven that it works really well and is able to keep the dust off. So I'm really happy with how it has performed. Let's see what else is in the box. So obviously it contains the user manual, which I haven't opened, and here is the power cable. Now, what's really nice about this power cable is that it's fairly long. This is a practical issue that you run into because oftentimes the table that this sits on or the desk it sits on is not really close to the power outlet, and having a longer cable has I think has helped out. Otherwise, you would be putting in extension wires and whatnot. So that's the two things that come in the box. Let me put that aside. The second unit that the kit is offering is the Google Chromecast itself. Now, one thing to point out here is that it supports a pretty big variety of apps, YouTube, Netflix, Pandora. These are things that we have used very heavily, and I know it works really well with them. I haven't used too much of Hulu, but I understand it works really well with Hulu as well. The one app that I'd like to point out especially is the Sling app. If you're a Sling user, in the past, this unit wouldn't work too well with Sling, meaning you could turn on and turn off Sling. So you could say, hey, Google, and it would, change into Sling. But if you wanted to change channels within Sling, then it didn't really do that well. But from what I understand, starting this year in 2019, there has been an upgrade made. And now with Google Home, you could actually, or with Chromecast, you could actually, start making channel switches within Sling, which is great. So let's take a look at what this unit actually is all about. So here's our main device itself. The first thing you will notice probably is how small it is, and the HDMI cable that is permanently plugged in, by the way, is fairly small. And the reason for that is that it's really meant as a device that goes behind your television, hooks up onto the HDMI port, and it just stays there. It just goes out of sight, so you don't see this, meaning it's not sitting on a table or anything. So that's great. And then the other thing to point out is if you are a user of an older television which does not support HDMI, then you will need an adapter of some sort. Otherwise, this unit can't really hook up to your TV. Obviously, it needs power, so there's the micro USB slot right there. Let's put this thing aside and see what else is in the box. Here's the power cord, I believe. Yes. And this is a micro USB and a regular USB. So the nice thing about this is that you obviously can connect it to a wall outlet if you so desire. But the nice thing about it is that many televisions now actually come with a USB slot behind the television where the HDMI ports are, and this can hook up onto that, and then you don't need to use a wall outlet. So the whole thing basically becomes completely invisible right behind your television. And what the other thing to point out about Google Chromecast is unlike other streaming devices, it doesn't really have a user interface as such. So for example, if you are a Apple TV user or a Roku user, it typically comes with a remote, and there's an interface that you work with when you power up the streaming device. With Google Chromecast, you don't really get that. What you get instead is a bunch of cast buttons that appear on apps that do support Chromecast. So for example, YouTube, if you're playing a video, you will see, there is a little cast button that appears, and you click that, and that content starts streaming onto your television. So that's the primary way you use Google Chromecast. You don't really have an interface, so something for you to keep an eye on. Some people don't like that. I actually do in many areas, but that's another reason why you probably need two streaming devices, because this one obviously it can do a lot, but where Roku really shines is the user friendliness of it, right? So you are able to work with your Roku device as if you're operating a regular TV, which is great. So some people really appreciate that, but that's the thing to keep in mind about this streaming device. So yeah, again, a quick video to show you guys what this kit really consists of. This is all being offered for $35, and I think for that price, it's really good. So while you still have the weekend on hand, go out to your local Walmart and pick one of these things up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and I'll be sure to answer. Thank you, and have a great weekend.